Okay, good evening. We are into the third week of September here, and our theme for the month is attitude. And our topic for this week is on coping mechanisms. So we all have ways we cope. Some of them are more conscious strategies, and others are maybe not so conscious. Some are more effective strategies than others, and it's important to bring out our coping strategies into our conscious awareness so that we can evaluate if a strategy is supporting us or not supporting us, and begin to choose to utilize strategies that are more supportive to our overall well-being and our relationships. So we all know our favorite coping mechanisms, right? So some of us like to shrink and hide. I mean, some of us want to eat. That might be a coping mechanism. Or if you're a smoker, it might be smoking. We do all kinds of strategies, conscious or unconscious, to support ourselves, to keep ourselves safe, to keep ourselves from, sometimes it's so we don't feel. I think this is where a lot of addiction comes from too, is that's a coping strategy. And whether somebody uses alcohol or shopping or what have you. So it's important to recognize what we're using as a coping strategy, and then starting to call a spade. Like, that coping strategy, maybe I can think of something more useful, and then start to employ healthier coping strategies. And that's exactly what we'll be doing here this evening. So let's do our breathing practice, which is taking 3 breaths anytime is a really good coping strategy. So let's start with that. And then just bringing our awareness into our breathing as it is. So find whatever posture feels comfortable for you. As always, I recommend a nice lift in the spine, a broadness in the shoulders, a way of sitting so that you feel like you're in a place of inner integrity, maybe a sense of a quality of dignity in your body and in your mind, because they're not separate. It all comes together. So, and as you're ready, just start to tune into the breath. Just noticing where you are, how you're breathing in this moment. And so even this simple practice of breathing and witnessing our breathing helps us to be more conscious of our habits without judgment. So one unconscious coping strategy might be holding our breath. And that's a coping strategy many of us do for many years. And so when we come to something like breathing meditation, we remember that we can soften the belly and allow some ease to flow in the body. So yeah, invite that softness in and a fuller, deeper breath. So breath holding might be an unconscious coping strategy, and conscious breathing would be a healthy coping strategy. So just continuing to witness the breath, to notice as you breathe in and breathe out the subtleties around the simple practice of breathing. Just noticing the temperature of the air around the nostrils. Noticing how the air moves over the back of the throat. Or the front of the throat. Noticing how the belly expands with the in-breath and softens with the out-breath. You might even notice expansion in the rib cage as you breathe in, and a softening as you breathe out. And just lengthening the in breath and lengthening the out breath. And before we move into a more active breathing practice in a moment, I'll share our affirmations for the evening, and you can choose to adopt one of these, or as always, formulating your own intention that feels right for you. So consider these as an offering. I choose new and healthy behaviors that support my well-being. When I'm aware of it, I can take care of it. I'm thriving, not just surviving. I'm grounded and calm. So next we're going to do a breathing practice called humming bee breath. And we're going to use our thumbs. So you might have to open your eyes to see this. We're going to use our thumbs to close the little flap over the ear, right? And then we're going to bring a finger to the eyes as we close the eyes just to the outside. It's kind of like a reminder we're closing the eyes to the nose and to the mouth. So we're closing all of our senses and closing off the sounds. We're going to bring the tongue to the roof of the mouth, just behind the front teeth. And we're taking a nice deep in breath, and with the out breath, making a buzzing sound like a bee. And it's a little way that bzz on the inside. So hopefully you didn't close your ears already so you could hear those instructions. Start with a nice in breath. And then with the out breath, buzz. And a few more times. Deep breath in. And you might play with the sound vibration in your mouth just to experiment how that buzzing sound feels in you. So deep breath in. And last time, make it find a little different sound. And then pause to just notice. So I mentioned in our opening that oftentimes a coping strategy is to hide or disappear or withdraw. And so sometimes that's not such a healthy coping strategy to pull away if we need to be engaged. But sometimes we need a little retreat. And this little breathing practice is a way of it's withdrawing our senses from the world to come into our own inner experience and kind of vibrate out and clear out the static. So I highly recommend this as a strategy that you can use to kind of withdraw and go inward and feel comforted by your own experience. So, so that's one healthy coping strategy I could introduce that you may choose to adopt. I encourage you to try it throughout the week, see if it resonates with you. Another one is just really grounding. So how we can ground our body with because grounding our body, like I said, mind and body are not separate. Grounding the body grounds the mind, like settles us down. So we're going to do some yoga on some stretching on the floor on a, you don't necessarily have to be on a mat, but if you're not in a place where you can't be on the floor, if that's not comfortable with you, by all means, you can modify that to being in a chair and just feeling your feet on the floor. And we'll do some simple movement either from a chair or on the floor. But I encourage you to give the floor space a try if that works for you. And so let me just make sure I've got this angled so that you can see. And so really grounding. So this is a good coping strategy. So I'm just going to encourage you to come into a supine position, it's on your back, and let yourself settle. So when we have the back body and connection to the ground, it's like you can surrender. Even taking a few moments to feel and notice here. Now, if you're choosing to be in a chair, you could be feeling your feet on the floor. You could be feeling your seat in the chair, maybe even your back to the back of the chair. But just start to notice and breathe. You could also do this standing, but really feeling your feet on the floor. Because the next thing we're going to do to just bring our awareness into the body is just to take a nice full body stretch. So reaching the legs away, reaching the arms overhead. If you're standing or seated, you might choose to come to like something like downward facing dog using the support of the chair. But just a nice full body stretch or reaching the arms overhead. Breathing here, lengthening out. And just noticing where you feel the stretch in your body. And you might experiment with reaching just the right hand away and the left foot away, kind of a diagonal stretch. And just notice how that feels. And then slowly releasing, and then reaching the right foot and left hand away. Right, so across the body, stretching in a diagonal. Good. And then with the exhale, softening once again. And then we'll walk the feet over to the right side of the mat and bring the head, neck, and shoulders over to the right side of the mat, opening the side body, breathing. You could be doing this with your eyes closed. I'll try and give you language so that it feels clear and you don't necessarily have to watch. But feeling that C curve in the spine, that openness on the left side of the body, noticing where you feel sensations, noticing the breath in your body. And then slowly start to walk one foot and then the other. And then bringing the head, neck, and shoulders back to center. So everything comes back to center. And then walking the feet over to the left, bringing the arms over to the left. So now we have that C curve in the opposite direction. So very often we do 6 directions of the spine seated in a chair. So this is just like that side to side stretch you might do seated in a chair. Again, it can be done standing or seated or on the ground. So each variation offers a deepening sense of connection to the ground. But with practice, you can ground yourself even standing. Absolutely. It's just easier to ground, which is a way of settling into the body. Coming back to center, releasing the arms down and just noticing the effects of the stretches that you've just done on your body. Notice how that lands for you. And then bending the knees, bringing the feet to the mat, hugging the knees in. Again, you can do this from seated in your chair. Just hugging in whatever way feels right. And on the floor, you might rock side to side. It's very nourishing to rock. Think about what a parent does with a baby, with a child. Is to calm it, to soothe it, is to rock. And we can do that for ourselves as well. It's like that nourishing, rhythmic, rocking. And then as you come back to center, pausing there, and then hugging just that right knee in and letting that left leg extend out. Slow and mindful movements helps to settle the body, settle the mind. You might circle that right foot. And as you're ready with the in-breath, changing legs, drawing the opposite knee in. Good. Exhaling, deepening knee to chest. Circling that left foot. So we did a similar sequence on our week that we talked about sleep. Because when we come down to the ground, it's calming for the nervous system, but it also helps us to move into a state of calm so that we can sleep better. So you can continue a few more times with the flow of your breath, a little alternating knee to chest. And you can choose whether or not you'd like to let that extended leg rest to the mat or hover above the mat or the floor. You can choose whether or not you want your nose to come up toward your knee, like lifting off, or resting to the earth, to the ground. So there's no right or wrong here. It's just a matter of what feels right in your body today. There's benefits to each variation. Sometimes if we're working with a tender back, we don't necessarily want to work hard. We just want those muscles to relax. And if we want to strengthen the core, maybe we don't want so much relaxation. We want a little more energizing. But just enjoying the movement and being in your body and noticing sensations. And whenever that feels complete, I'm just drawing in, once again, both knees. Maybe rocking again if that feels good. And then start to find the soles of the feet and bring the soles of the feet together and letting the knees fall gently open. Butterfly. And then you can choose to let your arms be alongside you, or maybe bringing the hands together and interlacing the fingers, and then turning the palms to face away, taking the arms overhead. You can experiment, notice what feels best in your body, palms facing away, or bending the elbows more, maybe even bringing the hands behind the head. Or a little bit of both. Or again, arms next to you, taking care, if there's any shoulder issues, by all means, take care, no forcing or pushing here. And maybe the arms just reaching out in a T position. Just noticing what feels good. And again, drawing the knees back together. Good, hugging the knees in toward the chest. Good. And let's see what else we want to do here. Okay, let's do this. So again, walking the feet in toward the seat. And again, if you're seated in your chair, this is a seated cat and cow. We're just on our back. So on our back, tailbone moves toward the floor, back arches. Maybe there's even a little bit of a tunnel underneath your low back. Good. And then move navel towards spine, lifting the tailbone just slightly. You don't have to lift off, but just lifting the tailbone slightly. The back of the waist moves toward closer to the floor. Good. And then continuing with the flow of your breath. So in breath, back arches. And out breath, navel towards spine, tailbone lifts slightly. Good. So I'm lifting my hands just so you can just see, but you can let the arms certainly be alongside you. Good. So nice steady movement synchronized with breath. And just noticing that gentle rhythm and how soothing that is. Very grounding. And then find neutral spine. So it's neither navel towards spine or tailbone toward the floor, but so you feel the back of the pelvis in a neutral position. And then let's just take one foot, right foot up into the air. Good. Point, flex. Your knee might be bent. Just find the range that feels right for you. You might use the hands behind that thigh to support that leg. You could choose to keep that left knee bent with the foot to the floor, or start to stretch that left leg out. Good. Pops and cracks are always good. And sometimes if there's a lot of pops and cracks, a really good indication that we need water, hydration. I'm a little light on my water today, interrupted in my flow. Good. So I'm cracking more than usual, I'm noticing. But little circles at the ankle, little points and flex at the foot. Notice what feels good. And then let's take that leg that's in the air and just cross it over. Good. Again, you might bend the knee. Now, if you're in a chair, this is a seated twist. You'd be doing a seated twist or a standing twist. So in the reclining version, you're going to draw that knee across. You might bring the arms out, shoulder height, or maybe even higher. Just notice where the stretch feels nice for you. Breathing those full, steady, deep breaths. Relaxing the muscles of the face. And you might discover here just range of motion for the head. Moving the head a little side to side. And if there's one side that your head prefers, then pausing there and hanging out and breathing. Is then there another layer deeper of relaxation or ease that you could bring in? Still in this shape. When you're ready, we'll draw that knee in, draw onto the back, bringing that foot to the floor, realigning the hips, and then walking both feet in again. So if you're in a chair, you'll just do another couple of seated cat and cows here. If you're on the floor with me in this form, just a few reclining cat and cows, pelvic tilts. Coming back to neutral. You feel that steadiness across the back of the pelvis. And we'll start to extend that left leg up to the sky. Good. Little point, flex. Breathing. Circling in one direction and then circling in the opposite direction. Good. You might use the hands for support. And again, keeping that knee bent or extending that leg out. Now, if you're seated in a chair, just extend that leg out. You could be standing with your foot on the chair and then hinging toward that foot to find a hamstring stretch. Leg extended. Breathing here. Enjoying the sensations of a stretch. And again, never forcing or pushing. And when you feel ready, just start to lower that left leg toward the floor on the right. You could use the hands to support that leg if you like. You could bend that knee if you like. Take care of you. This healthy coping strategy of doing some movement and breath, connecting, dropping our awareness into the body, grounding, very nourishing. Healthy coping. So you might find some range of motion here with the head, moving the head a little side to side. And then if there's a place where your head likes to hang out, be there and breathe. And again, notice. And then bending that knee, drawing that knee in, coming onto your back once again. Or back to your chair, seated, and hugging the knees in. That hugging in is a nice back stretch. And then releasing the feet to the mat, arms alongside you once again. And let's take another little pelvic tilt here, arching back, and then drawing navel towards spine. Good. Synchronizing that movement with breath. So in breath, back arches, lungs expand, out breath, navel towards spine, tailbone lifts. And when that feels complete, check in with yourself. Notice, like, now that I have my awareness sort of in my embodied experience, is there something else my body wants to do? Is there some movement my body wants? Do I want to take my hands into the air? Do I like the feeling of having my feet in the air? Do I want another full body stretch? Or maybe there's another movement that's familiar to you, like moving into bridge pose, lifting the hips. So just take a few moments to really check in with you. Like it doesn't have to be a yoga pose, right? It could be anything that your body wants. So maybe there's a little back bend in there that would feel good, or moving onto your belly and breathing there. So just take a few moments and rolling around on the floor. It can feel playful, and that can be a good coping strategy. Certainly changes our whole inner experience to just be able to check in. So other grounding practices for healthy coping might be just staying present to the sensations as we've practiced in your body. Taking a one breath pause. Maybe there's a pause kind of punctuating your day with a mindful breath. It's like a place to pause in the middle of your day. Soft belly, deep. And one of my strategies is to feel the back body, just to feel that, we often are so focused on the front body and what's out in front of us and what's coming, what's happening out here, that we can forget about our back body. And so just as you take your awareness up the back body, just noticing, oh, I can feel my back body. And it's like you could rest into your back body, as if you could just rest into that, like somebody's got your back. Really good coping. It's like internal resources for coping strategies. Another one of my favorite coping strategies is just to get out of the house and get into nature. We're so fortunate in Ohio to have so many places where we can take a walk in the woods and be in nature, and how grounding it can be to just be in nature and how it changes our perspective. So from here, then, I would invite you to set yourself up well for our rest. If you want to be laying flat on the floor or a recliner or sofa, bed, whatever is available, or even being in a seated meditation. But we'll close today for our final rest with a yoga nidra. So this is a nice process, great coping strategy, great for finding rest, supporting sleep. Get my blocks here to sit. So as you set yourself up well for relaxation, start to tune into the breath, as always, and become aware of your body lying on the floor, letting the eyes softly close. Be aware of any sounds that you can hear in this moment. Without strain, just listening to what sounds you can take in. Focusing first on the most distant sounds you can hear, and then letting your sense of hearing move closer gradually to the space you're in, the sound of my voice, and the sounds inside the room that you're in. And without opening your eyes, just visualizing the four walls of the room that you're in, as well as the ceiling and the floor, and your body lying on the floor or the surface that you're on. Just aware of the position of your body, your clothes, your hair, your face. Become acutely aware of the existence of your physical body lying here on the floor. And then becoming aware of your breath. And so now not making it do anything in particular, but finding your natural, spontaneous breath that moves in and out of your body without any effort. That natural breath that flows through both nostrils. Notice the feeling of the breath as it comes in and as it flows out. Noticing the coolness around the nostrils as you breathe in and the warmth as you breathe out. And then I invite you to start to develop or cultivate an intention, or restate your intention for this practice. A short positive statement in simple language. Kind of like we did earlier on. Like, I am grounded and calm. I am thriving and surviving. And silently say that to yourself, whatever feels right for you. Use one of those or something else. And then silently telling yourself, I am practicing Yoga Nidra. I am awake and I am relaxed. The intention with Yoga Nidra is to remain awake, but deeply relaxed. And still now we'll be moving our awareness through the body. And so as soon as you hear them named, you can say the name of the part of the body to yourself. And feel that part of your body without moving it. Some people like to imagine like a light going on in that place, like you would if you were walking into a room and a light would turn on. It's just your awareness, the light of your awareness moving to each body part. So we'll start by bringing your awareness to the right hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, palm of the right hand, back of the right hand, right wrist, right forearm, right elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, waist, hip, thigh, knee, still on the right side, right calf, ankle, heel, sole of the right foot, top of the right foot, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and the pinky toe on the right foot. Now bringing your awareness to the left hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, palm of the left hand, back of the left hand, left wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, left armpit, left ribs, waist, hip, thigh, left knee, left calf, left ankle, sole of the left foot, top of the left foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and pinky toe on the left foot. Now taking your awareness to the back body. Right heel, left heel, right calf, left calf, back of the right thigh, back of the left thigh, right buttock, left buttock, lower back, middle back, upper back, the entire spine. Right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, back of the neck, back of the head, top of the head, forehead, right temple, left temple, right ear, left ear, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, middle of the eyebrows, right eye, left eye, right nostril, left nostril, right cheek, left cheek, upper lip, lower lip, both lips together, chin, jaw, throat, right collarbone, left collarbone, right side of the chest, left side of the chest, upper abdomen, navel, lower abdomen, right groin, left groin, pelvic floor, the whole right leg, the whole left leg, the whole right arm, the whole left arm, the whole face, the whole head, the whole torso, the whole body, the whole body, the whole body. Now we're going to experience opposite sensations of lightness and heaviness. Now imagine the whole body becoming light, as though your whole body could just float gently like a cloud toward the ceiling. The head is light and weightless. The limbs are light and weightless. The torso is light and weightless. The whole body, light and weightless. Imagine you're just gently rising off the surface that you're on. Light like a cloud. Now imagine your body becoming heavy. Feel the heaviness in all the parts of the body, each part becoming heavier and heavier and heavier. The head is heavy. The limbs are heavy. The torso is heavy. The whole body heavy. So heavy that it's sinking down into the surface you're on. As if your whole body could sink into and leave an imprint in the surface you're on. Heavy. Now we'll awaken the experience of cold in the body. The experience of like being outside on a chilly day without a coat. Feeling this chill permeate your whole body. Feeling the cold. Now allow the sensation of warmth to spread throughout the entire body. Remembering the feeling of heat on a warm, sunny day, out in the sun, no shade, feeling that heat radiate on your skin and all over your body. Feeling the body warm, warm heat. And now recollecting the experience of anxiety, intense anxiety and worry. This is feel this stress in your mind, in your body, but do not concentrate on its source. Create the experience of anxiety as clearly as possible. Just creating the experience of anxiety in your body. And now letting go of that experience of anxiety and feeling the experience of calm. Allow this calm to envelop you. Manifest the experience of calm in your entire mind and body and emotions. You're relaxed and aware and completely calm. Now we're going to do a rapid image visualization. I'm just going to say a number of different objects, and you'll envision them on the level of emotion, memory, and imagination as best as you can. Jump from image to image as soon as you hear it. A red rose, a foggy morning, a doctor's office, arising after a good night's rest, a full moon, a relaxing afternoon, laughter with friends, dew on a blade of grass, a sailboat on the water, a tall tree, a bouquet of flowers, a mountain, a burning candle, a warm embrace, a path in the woods, a giant boulder, taking a deep breath, a cat stretching, a beautiful garden path, a bird's song, the sound of my voice, and your body lying on the floor or the surface that you're on. Now it's time to repeat your intention from the beginning. And take another moment to just be and rest. Now coming back to the feeling of your breath flowing in and out of your nostrils. Maintaining your awareness of the breath and at the same time developing your awareness of your physical body. Your body is relaxed and lying on a surface. Feel the container of your skin and the clothes and props that are touching you. Notice the heaviness of your body as it rests on the surface that you're on. And take your awareness into all the points that are touching the floor or that surface. The back of the heels, the thighs, the buttocks, the shoulder blades, arms, hands, and head. Not yet opening your eyes. begin to visualize the surrounding room. Imagine where you are in the room and the other objects in the room. Lie quietly until you feel the impulse to move. And when you do, start by slowly moving your hands and your feet, taking your time. There's no hurry. And when you're sure that you are fully awake, gently opening your eyes, rolling over to one side, and pausing there for a moment. And when you're ready, coming back to seated. And so this will conclude our time together today. Be well. Take good care of you.